Hey everyone, it's Untitled Chapter back with another video, and today we're going to be going over the most used characters that I use daily on my main account. I'm also going to include Void Tower characters, even though that is technically a monthly game mode, but it's quite a few characters, and it's very, very different from what you probably would have expected based on my ratings I've given to some earlier game characters. So let's jump into it. Alright, so obviously I have a lot of characters here, but I'm just going to go over the basically the top, I don't know, like 15 or so characters that I use on a daily basis or weekly basis, or I have used them in the Void Tower hard rotation when I ended up clearing it. And some of these characters I have the potential for using or things like that, but I just don't use them or have not used them recently in my stage 14 clears or things like that. But we're going to start off here, and the first one is going to be CIARA. I use her daily in my campaign runs, in my endless trial clears, and that's really where she fits. She doesn't really fit anywhere else for me but the campaign and endless trial clears, but that's a large portion of my gameplay. Next two are NATHALIA and YOLANDA. They are pretty much used in the same slot, and that is going to be Void Tower Hard and Arena Offense and Defense. That's really where they're used. YOLANDA is also used in Guild Boss and the occasional Queen 14 comp that I'm testing out, but actually my standard Queen 14 comp does not include YOLANDA because my SANTIS is too squishy. But I do use NATHALIA and YOLANDA every single day on Arena Offense. They are crucial for the comp that I run, and also really, really solid in Void Tower Hard. In combination between NATHALIA, YOLANDA, and Cyrus, they are crucial in clearing Void Tower Hard for me this last rotation. Cyrus is a big, big part of that. She pretty much was used in every single floor. There was maybe one or two floors that I didn't use her, but could have. I just needed to run the battles a few more times. But NATHALIA, YOLANDA, and Cyrus are Void Tower Hard, and then NATHALIA and YOLANDA are going to be Arena Offense and Defense. Next up is Blackhorn, and I actually am not using this guy as much as I was, but he is critical in my Agility Ash 14 comp, as well as being part of the new Gemini 12, 13, and 14 comp that I plan on running soon. I'm still running Queen 14 to acquire some more revival sets so that I can run that comp more efficiently, but definitely someone that I usually use often if I am running Ash or Gemini. Then we have Opal here, and Opal's someone I actually am using quite a bit, and there really is three ways. One, I'm using her in my Endless Trials and Campaign squad. She does help me beat the later stage 10 because I run a 4 DPS squad in the later stages, and she is part of that. I also use her in the Endless Trials like I mentioned, and then for one other scenario, and that's Ash 14 in the comp that I ran a few weeks ago, showcasing her in a 2-minute comp. Unfortunately, my gear level isn't quite what it needs to be to run that comp at 100%, so I don't run that all the time, but if I do need to burn some energy really, really quickly and I want to run some dungeon runs, I do gear her up for that. Next up is going to be Urzag, and Urzag is someone I use every single day for Arena Offense. He is part of the other combination of NATHALIA and YOLANDA, and he is just crucial in being my sole threat in Arena Offense. This guy is a monster. I can full auto Arena because of him, and he's very, very fun to use. Next up is Zatlex, and this guy I just use all the time in my campaign, my Endless Trial, and my Queen 14 comps. He is crucial for Queen 14 and for cleaning up the campaign and Endless Trial runs that I do, so I use him on the daily basis for sure. Next one is going to be NATHALIA, and NATHALIA is someone I use in my campaign squad, in my Endless Trial squad, and my Ash 14 in every single format that it comes in, so definitely someone that I use often. I also did run her a little bit in the Void Tower Hard when I had ran it earlier on in the month, but I don't really run her in there anymore because I don't do Void Tower anymore. It's done. So really Ash 14 and campaign for this one. SANTIS is another one I use every single day in my Queen 14, Ash 14 comps here, and for Gemini, when I do end up running that, I will be running her as well as YOLANDA too. So definitely someone that I've been using in all my dungeon runs pretty much. She is the core part of all the damage that I do in dungeon runs. Next up is Hackern, and this guy I actually use in Queen 14, Ash 14, Void Tower Hard, and sometimes Arena Offense and Defense. So I use him a lot of places, as well as potential Gemini 14 or 12 testing and things like that. But a very, very crucial character here in Hackern. Definitely core to pretty much all of my dungeon comps. Next up is not going to be William, actually. I don't use this guy pretty much outside of Guild Boss right now, and I don't think that's an important enough game mode to mention too much, but I do use him in Guild Boss if you're curious. Virgil is actually someone I use on a daily basis because I farm a lot of Queen, and he is part of my Queen 14 comp. So he's someone I actually use every single day because I do not have a Gangello. And I will mention that if you have a Gangello, the amount of characters that you're going to be using, it goes down significantly because you do not need to run all these specified comps. You can just run Gangello for every single comp, which makes it much, much easier. But Virgil is crucial for my Queen 14 comp, and I use him pretty much every single day. Next up is actually going to be Hewlands, and this one is not necessarily someone I use every single day, but he is very crucial for certain comps that I run when I want to run speed comps. Again, as I mentioned, if I want to run speed comps, I have to pull gear from all of my units and focus them on into one comp. So if I have time, I will build that out and run some speed comps during the day, but oftentimes I do not, so I don't run comps like that. And also Hewlands is crucial for Gemini 12, so I have been using him more so recently. Next one is going to be Charles, and Charles is someone I use exclusively for Void Tower Hard, but he is core for that team, and I used him pretty much all throughout Void Tower Hard except for a few stages when I wanted to go faster. So he is very, very core in my monthly reset of Void Tower Hard. Then the last couple of ones here is going to be Zitlin. I actually use him every single day for both Guild Boss and for Arena Offense. He is very, very core in taking out those Mathasias and brands with high agility. He gives a bonus to precision, so he works really, really well with Urzag, and I use him every single day for Arena Offense. Next up is going to be Mary, and this one's going to be the last one on the list, pretty much. She is someone I use oftentimes as a select Arena Offense counter, as well as someone I use in my Ash 12 comp with Opal, and someone I sometimes use in Guild Boss. She is a very, very cool character in order to run in Arena Offense because when you're running something like an Urzag, a Bruiser comp, if they have Lunar Malice or defense down, she can cut in and cleanse off that with the Invincible and the passive cleanse, and it makes it an exceptional Arena Offense and defense counter. Now, there are a couple of characters here that might be surprising to you that I do not use, and I just want to mention a couple of them. First off is going to be William here. I already briefly mentioned this guy, but I actually don't use him pretty much anywhere anymore except for Guild Boss in order to get that extra bonus damage. Occasionally, I will use him in Arena Offense, but my Arena rank is quite high now, so I don't actually have the luxury to run him to run faster comps with Urzag, so I don't really run him that much anymore. Someone like Connor, I almost never use at this point. If I wanted to run Tulpa, which I don't, I would use him, but I almost never use this guy. And another one that might be surprising is Windstrex. I pretty much never use her at this point. I have her geared out with my fastest speed gear that I don't really upgrade, but I don't use her in Arena anymore. I don't use her in Void Tower. I pretty much never have a use for this Windstrex here, and she just kind of sits in my vault. One other character that I want to mention that I probably will be using in the future is going to be Valeria and Axel here, which you all saw that video already. I have been experimenting with the Axel comp, and I just need a little bit more stats before I will be using him daily. And Valeria will be instantly slotted into my campaign squad, probably in replacement of Opal, so I can have one of each affinity when I start getting her geared out. And I will be using her in my campaign, Endless Trials, and perhaps some other areas of the game. And then the last one is someone I quickly wanted to mention because a lot of people wonder what I'm doing with GARRELL here, because a lot of people are favorites of GARRELL. I almost never use this guy. If I had him Ascension 5, I might use him on Arena Offense and Defense, but I don't care about Tulpa. He's not as good for Guild Boss. He doesn't fit in Void Tower hard comps better than Cyrus generally, so you're just never using this guy, in my opinion, if you have a Ascension 2 Cyrus. If you have Ascension 5 GARRELL, I think he can fit in some of your Arena Offense and Defense squads, and that's really his main strength, and he does shine there. But unfortunately, I don't really do much with Arena Defense, and Offense is literally just the Urzag show. That's pretty much all I ever use. I never use anything else because I fully auto Arena, and that's just with the Urzag comp. So hopefully you found this a little bit interesting, and what I pretty much use on the daily basis as an endgame player in this game. If you want to see me review kind of the characters that I regret or didn't get any use out of when I 6-starred them, let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, there are a few characters in here that I built as a joke or as requested, so I'd leave those off the list. But there are a few characters in here that I do regret 6-starring so early on, or I basically have zero use for at this point because I've outweighed that point of the game but after or before I even 6-starred them. So that'll be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one.